the fucking mic isn't going?
You're such a turd bag.
Why?
There we go.
Okay.
And thanks for Livy. Livy is our tech support. And you know what's funny is Nick. Nick did mention he's sick and he's under the weather, but he came over and he took control. So that whole thing with Aaliyah screaming and us bagging on my dog nanny's at the house and she's trapped. She can't get out because she lost her keys.
So no one heard any of that?
No, that was silence. If it wasn't for your girl, thank you. There we go. Thank you very much, Livy.
Thanks, Livy.
Dude, seriously, could you have seen we would have done the whole show, nobody chimed in or mentioned anything, and we just sat here and talked aimlessly? That is the perfect tree in a forest analogy. Like, it's not happening.
Yeah, no, thank you. Good thing it was only 4 minutes in. Good thing someone listened 4 minutes in. Did you press record on the actual OBS?
Believe me, I did everything I was supposed to do. I thought you had everything set over
I
here.
did too.
You jerk box.
Come on, man.
Dude, after all the things I do with jumping in and trying to help you with a How I Met Your Mother moment in the afternoon. Okay. I'm in my boxers having coffee.
I'm like, Jake, my doctor is really hot. What do I do?
What do I do? Is there any way to seal this deal?
He's like, well, this is only going to work if she has watched every single episode of How I Met Your Mother, but you can pull this off.
Yeah, it can be done. There's no doubt in my mind that it couldn't. And the Ted Mosby, I wouldn't use most of the How I Met Your Mother analogies. I would lean a little further to.
No, because it's like a sad life that he lives.
I would go more with Barney.
Sure.
So that would have been how I would have gone about it. But what had happened in that scenario, he's at the doctor's office, or what it was, the lady at the matchmaker service, they said if you score a 99 percentile or whatever, then, it's guaranteed you will be in love and you'll be married forever. And that dude's whole quest, was to be in love or whatever. So he goes through this whole, he goes through the whole thing, and she leaves, and he was like, oh, we've got a couple here, but they're already I can't listen to her in the background anymore. Goodbye, Aaliyah. Check into the show. I'm not keeping you on the phone anymore.
I was surprised you could let it go that
Dude,
far.
I'm liable to go home at 11:20 and she's just sitting Indian style in my living room going, why? Where? And I'll walk in and the keys will be like right by the sink or something.
Be in the door.
Yeah. Oh, good call. Look at you. You pulled it out after a few minutes. Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. You told her to look in the fridge.
Yeah. Just the obvious spots, like where you wouldn't think that they would be. It's such a stupid spot. Like where you don't, like that's where your mind stopped recording the memory, is where you left stuff in a stupid spot.
Yeah, that's true, and it's not her door. She only goes over there,
right?
A few days a week to let my dogs out. So,
well, now she's listening, so you might want to text her, look in the door, or if you don't even care, you'll just show up.
Dude, I'll just show up and I'll be like, "Found your keys? What? I'm magic. I closed down the store, drove home, stole your keys while you were asleep, and then left. Like, gotcha.
I'll just sit on the phone with you for 30 minutes and let you bleed into the podcast.
Exactly. That we weren't recording.
No, that we weren't even recording.
Oh, ball sack.
Well, hey, at least I showed up.
Yeah, no, you did. And the empty seat right there. Like, we need to get the volleyball, like the Wilson volleyball. Wilson. Matt's gonna have like 900 weird names.
He's just gonna have like a towel and a mint waiting on the chair for him that he just never shows.
Yep. Oh, dude. What are you gonna do? In our little weird, analogy that I was yelling, and where she was like, "Where's Matt? He's not there." And I was like, "Wait," because I got a couple phone calls from out of state, and they were like, "Dude, I like the hustle. You doing this these days and whatever, and I like the dude you're co-hosting with, and dude." I'm telling you, man, hustle is hustle. Nobody else is doing this. Producing as loose of an attempted radio show as we are.
Right.
But as the media sections begin to, cross over,
yeah.
And there are going to be, and who knows, it may happen, it may not, or we monetize it. Good things are going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. But just however, and then, Mr. who begged me to be on the show and was like, I just keep pointing to the empty chair.
Yeah, I keep looking over and just looking at like what would be his silhouette. Just
whatever, guys.
Yeah.
But that whole thing, and he's not happy with his overall job, and F my life and all this stuff. all you got to do is show up. If good things happen, bro.
Yeah, your little rant on. Sorry that I didn't make a piss poor attempt at arranging
Sorry,
my life.
Yeah, I didn't arrange my life properly. I'm like, dude, this was like a 6-year. I mean, who else builds their world around you? Come in and you bullshit with people, sell them fake smoke, help them quit smoking so you sleep good at night.
Well, I mean, that's my. I mean,
You turn a buck.
I think I get the excuse. I'm like, half Matt.
Oh, for sure.
I think I can say that I'm working on it.
Yeah, no, it's.
I'm
but
trying.
You also could be, at some, weird university, with dreadlocks and wearing a poncho. You know what I
trying
mean?
to
Just
find
screwing
myself
off.
in
Yeah,
the,
for
in
sure.
the art of engineering.
That's right. With a music minor, or. But
that's what I would be. I'd just be an engineer that would be like that weird guy with the guitar at like every party, just trying to bang chicks with singing them songs.
Oh, dude, why does that make me that Ryan Reynolds movie where he was he was the fat kid in high school and then he went out and he was like a record exec in L.A. God, I can't remember the name of it.
What was that movie? I know what you're talking about.
And then
I don't think I've seen it though.
What?
Yeah,
dude, it's an awesome movie. But then again, I watch a lot of weird like romantic comedies or whatever, just because they generally and it had Anna Faris in it.
Okay, yeah,
and she was the psycho like pop star crazy. I'll pull it up. If anyone else out there, if Mr. Thomas or Brett can remember that, yeah. How about you guys put in some work, right? You guys are just sitting around in your fuzzy slippers and listen to us try and figure stuff out. How about get on IMDb and Ryan Reynolds.
A little help here, guys.
Yeah, Jesus.
Come on. We can't.
My little
do
brother's
everything.
just hanging out, not even helping, bro.
It's like they want us to do our own prep work for the show. I mean, come on, that's your job, audience.
Exactly. Like I worked all day. Let's get it together, Brady boy. But yeah, that was I don't know. But the Ted Mosby thing, it's funny because he was tenacious in. She's like, oh, I'm engaged, and yeah, I'm doing whatever. And he asked her out, and she was like, oh, I'm engaged. So no, and she was like, no. And they had everything alike, And he read her little. Her folder at the matchmaking service.
Yeah.
So he went in with loaded stuff. The only thing I was gonna hope to tell this girl, dude, she mentioned something about wishing she was that water bottle. And she was wishing she was the water bottle and you were thirsty, sir.
She's so funny, man.
No, dude, she's a crack up. So yeah, but the what's up, Pooley? The tenacity in which he went after it. Now, if she would have, like, who doesn't watch How I Met Your Mother, right? It's on every rerun channel on the Chicago channel that we seem to get on cable and all the other stuff.
Everyone either really they dig it or they just completely hate it. They think it's annoying. Like my roommate David, he just hates that show. He thinks it's the most annoying. But
dude, he's tattooed up and an ornery, dude. He's not watching How I Met Your Mother. There's no character.
No, but he'll watch stupid stuff. He was just telling me today that he watches with me. I had a friend
drink me.
We had a couple friends over, and one of them was like talking about that she wanted to get a monkey. And David was like,
girls
yeah,
like monkeys.
She's like, David's like, yeah, I watch this vlogger every day. He vlogs his monkeys. So you watch monkey videos, but he won't watch How I Met Your Mother.
I mean, I got caught up in the bizarre. Like cat videos. I'm not a huge fan of cats. I've been around people who had cats. I never really had.
Dude, cats are sweet.
Yeah, no, dude, I like all animals, dude. Like, I try and kick it with the squirrels at my old house. They would come up, I'd feed them. I could call them, and they'd run across the yard and chill out while I was having coffee on the deck. Like, seriously, dude, squirrels are about it.
Squirrels are, like, the coolest version of, like, rats.
Yeah.
Like, if I were to pick...
Dude, you know the whole thing about there's... And I don't mean to sound racist, but the black squirrels, when I was growing up, we didn't have black squirrels. Oh, we were those dingy brown ones, and some of them were a little grayish,
well,
right?
I remember, I don't remember why, but I remember, like, being young, and I remember looking at, like, all the squirrels and being like, okay, these are squirrels. And then I literally went, it seemed like such a big jump of space going from Westland to Garden City, which now it seems like nothing, but as a child, it seemed like a journey.
Oh,
and I remember going over there and going, whoa, What's up with all these black squirrels? I've never seen a black squirrel. I didn't know they come in different colors, and then there's gray ones running around.
Yeah.
So I was like mind blown. I was like, whoa.
So the odd, evolution of squirrels in our, in our lifetime, right?
Yeah.
So, evolution's not fact, right? It's a creator. Like,
No, God was like, you know what?
I'm going to wait until about 2014.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait.
Then I'm going to interject black squirrels.
You know what? It's like Squirrel 2.0. You know
And just to make people feel
sprinkle 'em
uneasy,
in.
just to make them feel uneasy and a little bit racist and make them think a little, I'm going to put them in the suburbs.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna put them in like the like kind of more rundown part of the suburb too, so they kind of feel more racist thinking about it.
Thinking about it, yeah.
And you're like,
oh, these damn black squirrels.
Yeah.
Well, you know what these
that's propaganda, man. That's
really
a
is.
conspiracy.
Somebody, yeah.
Yeah, that's Bush did that, man.
Yeah.
Bush did black squirrels.
Bush hates black people, according to Kanye.
Yeah, what was he on with Michael Myers?
Michael Myers, yeah.
that was a crazy video, man.
Yeah, it was, dude.
George Bush does not care about black people.
Michael Myers was like, oh. The dude who can find humor in anything was like, oh, balls.
Well, it was such a serious topic. It was such a they were like legitimately, trying to make efforts to help people. And of course, Kanye wasn't joking.
No,
that's just Kanye.
Yeah, but he's crazier than a shithouse rat. He is
a.
And it's a shame because you look at it, and I wonder, like when Martin Lawrence went crazy, and then Chappelle flipped out and just bolted, right? Yeah. And then he came back like 60 pounds heavier with muscles and not as funny.
He's like the new DMX.
Yeah, right. and who else? There's been quite a few that have. And it seems as their notoriety or whatever begins to slip, like maybe it's the loss of, relevancy that you begin to look at Tyrese. Okay, something topical, dude. Somebody get a hold of that dude. Tyrese was, dude, he's like teetering on, like male model, actor, all this stuff, and dude, he's like sobbing and crying, like a crazy person and flipping out. I mean, granted, he's got, his daughter and the child support and all that stuff, but yeah, dude, he's flipping out on everyone. And they said, I don't know the validity of Will Smith and Jada Pinkett gave him money. Like, here, dude, help, just do us a favor.
Yeah.
You're embarrassing us just because we're friends with you. Like, how about you just get off social media, right?
Dude,
because you're freaking everyone out.
On the Smith note, have you heard Jaden Smith's new music?
I haven't.
I did not think that I was gonna ever like say this, but he released a really cool song.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of like on some like New Slaves Kanye stuff, like on that level.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Kanye was trying to get like really artistic and experimental. It sounds like that, and it's pretty good.
Really?
You should take a listen to it.
I will. I'll check it out. I liked when the little daughter person, when she swung her head around and whatever, and the hair, I was like, dude, she's going to get dizzy. How she's not falling over, whatever that was when the little daughter did the song or whatever. And I was like, I was like, that's actually, don't get me wrong, I would turn the radio down or switch the channel if I was at a stoplight, or at least roll my windows up.
Yeah.
But I was like, and I remember watching it. Every time I watched it and she was swinging her head around, it made me happy. It kind of made me dizzy by proxy. So kind of crazy, man. So yeah, we just went off on the Smith family Robinson, and it made me brain fart.
Well, we weren't really talking about anything particular.
I was trying to go further down the How I Met Your Mother and how he actually got with the hot doctor. So that was the thing. So hot doctor, I do enjoy that you chime in like in the middle of the afternoon, like, bro, this is happening. I'm like, cool, dude. I'm in my boxer shorts.
Well, because it was like I know that nothing's gonna pan out, but it's like entertaining. I knew it would be talking about it on the podcast tonight if I started the conversation then. Because I was like, I'd never seen it before. I was like, whoa, this is a very attractive I don't know what it is about the doctor's office I go right over here in Canton. My doctor's office, there's a lot of, maybe it's just like that now I'm getting older and doctors don't look like just a bunch of old people now.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
People in their 30s just kind of start to look more like me as I get older.
No, and it is a blending thing,
yeah.
And we've talked about age discrimination with between guys, girls, and whatever.
Yeah.
And it is kind of a thing. And it is weird when that age gap, like, girls generally have like a 9-year age gap that they, if you're 29 and they're 21, that will still work.
Yeah.
But if you're 30 and they're 22, they don't want to see over. They don't want to know what's on the other side of 30.
30s yet. Yeah. But no, I don't know what it is. There's just a bunch of younger female doctors at my physician's office, and it's pretty neat.
Yeah,
because they're all attractive.
The only bad thing is you find more, and part of it is a sociological experiment that I've done through, dating apps or, Plenty of Fish and stuff like that. Like it's my weird downtime. Like if I'm sitting around not doing anything, who else is single and who's running around and doing stuff, right? And I've noticed more nurses are single, like hot nurses. Because, dude, you go through dating sites, you'd be like, Jesus Christ. Like, dude, no one is going to date you ever. Like, you should be able to leave comments like, it's not going to happen.
Well, nurses are like, they're like at that level in their life where if you're like a hot nurse, you're not looking for like just any dude at that point. You want to find like a guy that you can be that hot nurse and not be the breadwinner.
Well, and it's not even breadwinner, but eventually you're not around enough. And if you're working like firemen, right? They work 24-hour shifts, and they eventually, like, I say it a lot, like, life eventually becomes very cyclical, right? It starts on Monday and it ends on Sunday.
Yeah.
Every week, the exact same. There are 52 of them in a year, right? Everything through numerology, you just look at it and go, okay, here's Monday, here's Tuesday, here's Wednesday, blah, 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 blah. I bowl on Thursday, go out and, I go out with my buddies on Saturday. Friday, we go do this. Sunday, it just... It
work,
factors
podcast, work podcast, work podcast, sleep.
Look, I'm going to tell you something good is going to come of this. Right?
No, that's why I'm here, man. I wouldn't be here. I'm not just messing around and losing sleep because I just like talking to you that much.
Yeah, but it is I don't know why, and this is good. At least it'll be documented that I will tell you something cool will come of this. I don't know exactly what it is. It's kind of out there.
Yeah, it's such a cool outlet too. I mean, it's like a good creative process because if you're not, imagine if you're just sitting at home doing nothing right now. This is a good exercise just to push you forward to do more stuff, because once you start getting like snowballs rolling with stuff you want to do, more ideas pop in, more opportunities pop in, innovation pops in, and then ads pop in, people networking pops in, and all of a sudden you got this whole thing built. But if you don't, like, you can just sit there and think about how you'd like to have this show or this and that, and you imagine it in full fruition as how you really want it to be. But people don't realize that it takes a lot of work. A lot of work, and the reason you don't see it is because no one watches and no one pays attention or listens to you while you're building it
until it gets to that point.
Yes.
And then when it does, it's like, hey, I know those guys, dude, those dudes, whatever. Yeah, man, rah, rah, rah. And then it becomes cool because even, I told you we had the small bit, or the small bit of notoriety and
Crazy's here.
Crazy's here. Yeah, she found her keys.
You can keep talking.
Okay, but yeah, it is kind of neat and interesting, and that's not a reason to do it, but it is a nice sidebar effect that you get from it. Where did you find your keys?
They were in the door for real.
Did you click on when I hung up with you to listen to the show or no? Because that's where he came up with the dude. They're in the door.
As soon as he hung up the phone with you, I was like, they're probably in the door.
No, because I kept looking at everyone I walked, and I was like, no, I'm not that stupid. Like, come on now.
Well, because that's
actually opened it.
when we every
I
time.
closed it, and I looked down. I'm like.
Every time we broke down the process of you going to the house, that's the first thing. You unlock the door, and then everything else happens after that. But if you left it in the door.
Yep. And you called it, dude. That was good. I was like, oh my God, yeah. She doesn't go to all the time. The dogs are there. They probably, Scoob was like, hey, what's going on? You're here. Oh, hey, what's happening?
Was Tilly.
Oh, that was Tilly.
Yeah, she
man.
helped the fuck out of me.
Well, I mean,
no, I got down.
But look, Tilly was in the back part of the house, so it had to have been Scoob that greeted you at the door when you came in through the side door, because Tilly was in the sliding glass door room.
No, but Scoob didn't jump me or anything. He was just chilling.
Really? Yeah, he's been pretty mellow.
I was like, what is wrong with this dude?
Come here, give me your keys. Did you already take it off or give them to me?
No.
I'll get it, woman.
Here, yeah.
What, dude? How? And see, that's the problem with men and women and just general. I offer to take it off of there for her, right? to do something semi-nice, like, here, I'll get it for you, and she gets mad and tries to throw the keys at my face.
It's never ending, man.
It really isn't.
It's like you basically say I can't take it off myself.
Well, you had a hard time finding and acquiring the things. Let me help you out. Let me do a little something for you.
Man.
Wow.
You are you were just talking her up earlier, actually. So
I swear to God, that's why I don't say good things to people.
Yeah. Wait, what
They
did you
they
say?
disappoint me. They disappoint me like right after.
you was saying that you're very interesting, that you say cool stuff. You're eccentric. It was all good, weird, positive stuff about you.
Yep, and then
And
and
here
then
you
you
come
and
in
then you
and
did that.
You throw
I
the
take it all
keys
back.
at his face. For those who are just listening, I will describe what just happened. She kicked in the door that was locked, ran in here, started screaming at Jake, took the keys, didn't even take the keys off the ring yet, threw it directly at his face. Poor guy had to sit there while bleeding and crying, unravel
Because
the
I'm a very
keys.
sensitive
I
man.
was about to say no homo to the
Yeah,
cry.
I'm a very sensitive man.
No homo to the cry now.
Drop the tear, no homo.
I love using no homo, even especially when it's not relevant. It makes me happy.
Yeah, when it's especially not homo.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's
I will
great.
never get over your shoulder. You're like, no homo. I
I'm
was
gonna cut up
start
this
crying.
cucumber, guys. No homo.
Well, I was like, look, man, if I wouldn't have got this medicine for my shoulder, like, and there weren't people around, like, no homo, I would have like sobbed and cried. I would have started crying, no homo.
I
Yeah.
listened to Will Smith's daughter's music.
Yeah,
No homo.
yeah. Jesus, if you took snippets of all this, like I listened to "Shake My Head Around" songs and do whatever, and then no homo. Did you see? And look, this is the good the good part of every now and again we bag on the semi-police state we have here in Canton, with just cops everywhere and driving around. It feels like you're in shark-infested waters. You're not even doing anything wrong. Like, oh my God, you're making me super nervous. I don't know if you saw this, and I didn't even know this. Dude, the ATF did a raid in Canton in a very, very nice house, and dude, it looks like Gucci Mane and like 5 other like dudes, like face tattoos, neck tattoos. You know how I bust on neck tattoos? One of the dudes raided his thing. He got the neck tattoo. But let me see, Canton, Michigan. Neighbors in a quiet Canton Township subdivision were shocked Wednesday morning to see federal officers raid a $333,000 home at the end of Leah Court. The U.S. Attorney's Office said the raid was part of a larger street gang bust. Local, state, and federal enforcement agencies busted the drug-dealing street gang operating in Detroit's east side. The gang goes by the name Smoke Camp. So I had never heard of, said Smoke Camp. Not like I'm up on my, I don't get the, Gang Daily. I don't
I've
get
never
like
heard
the
of Smoke
newspaper.
Camp before, but I mean, if it's a Canton gang, they have no credibility.
No. They're an East Side gang.
Oh.
And this is like the
This is
leaders
their-
of it.
okay,
So the
they're-
leaders live out here
they
in a
got-
plush little whatever.
Also, anyone that's listening from like California, it's a $330,000 home. That is not a 1-bedroom apartment in Canton. That is an actual house.
Yes, that's like a 6-bedroom house with a
Yeah.
media room in
I
the
just-
basement.
When you said that, I was like, that doesn't sound too much for like certain people that live in like areas where 330,000 is like a 1-bedroom studio place that has half of a bathroom. You
Yeah.
gotta wash yourself out in like a common ground area. They get a locker room in your
Yeah,
in your complex.
and the gang goes by the Smoke Camp or original paid bosses. Federal investigators
All right,
said
well-
one of the so-called bosses lives at the home in Canton Township and was busted along with 12 other suspected gang members. So here's the thing, right? Profiling is if a lion was wandering through, I'd be like, oh, balls, there's lions in Canton. I don't want to jump out and I'm not going to walk through a field because there may be a lion.
Yeah.
Right. And, profiling when you see, dude, I have probably 15, 20 customers that come in here and be like, man, you can't be driving black in Canton. Like, dude, it's crucial. Like, it's for real. They are on you. Now, obviously, they just didn't get some information and go do this raid. So the ATF and
Yeah.
everybody has been looking at this for quite some time.
Of course.
So
building a case.
when you get people that come in and you've got plates from out of Canton or whatever, or if you happen to, fit the description of, semi neck tattoo. The one dude's got stars on his face and neck tattoo and whatever. So yeah, there's some stuff. So
Also, now that you mentioned that it's an East Side gang, I want to take back what I said about them not being credible. I'm sorry to
Yeah.
anyone in that gang that heard that. I don't even live in this area. I drive here from Ohio. So
Yeah,
if you're
that's right.
anyone
He's
looking
right.
for me.
what about it?
Can I get it?
You can have half of mine. I've got a 2-ounce bottle somewhere around. It's on the tables. There you go.
You got to start getting that on shelves in here, man.
I do. I have it. Everyone who knows I have it. I've
No,
got
I
a
mean,
whole.
like in the area.
We're working on that in the next few weeks. We've got a licensing deal going on in Dallas, so it's going to be distributed in Dallas here, and then it's going to go through its repackaging phase and whatever, and it's going to be in normal stuff. So
Let me get on that marketing campaign with you guys. That'd be fun.
yeah, for sure.
I want to just mess around with it.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah.
You scared me there, man. I looked to the side. And I was like,
There was an odd hiccup. Yeah, we're actually going to have posters like out there where I have some of the posters that are outdated from brands we're not carrying.
yeah.
I'm gonna we're gonna work on some graphics and whatever. I've got a great print company. We'll have a couple of those. One for Add It All. Probably have a banner here for the Bachelor Pad Radio. Blah blah blah. So anything that we're pushing and working in the Crown of Kings, stuff like that. So we'll have some of those proprietary items.
One of my lady friends, she's actually going to school right now for like brands and advertisements. It'd be cool. I kind of want to like do something with her. Maybe come up with some sort of like cool brand advertisement for that, just to mess around, like a little project.
Why not?
You don't have to air it, but just
No, dude, why not? Anything. Throw.
Yeah.
It's the. How do you know when spaghetti's done? You take it and you throw it against the wall, right?
yeah.
So if you're old school Italians,
I actually, it's funny you said that. I was like a couple of years ago, I was like dating this one chick, and and I was at like her uncle's house or something, and I was making the whole family like this stir fry dish, and I was doing the noodles, and none of them had ever heard of that trick before. No one had ever heard about the throw the spaghetti at the wall.
Really?
So like I'm sitting there making it, and like
You just take
they're
it.
like,
start
how do you
chuck-
know when it's done? And I just literally pulled one out and threw it at the wall, and they looked at me like I was like disrespecting their entire estate. Like, how dare you throw food around like this is some sort of high school cafeteria?
Yeah, you're
And
not
I'm like,
really.
look, it sticks.
Yeah, you're not really Italian, folks. I
Look,
hate to break it to you.
It sticks on the wall. That means it's done.
That's right.
And they're like, get out of my house. And they shot me in the kneecap
Yeah.
with a buckshot.
With a BB gun. Yeah. No, it's that's a thing.
That's a brand.
So yeah, I mean throwing just throwing anything at that point.
Well, it's a really good product, man. It's a really cool product, and I think the actual advertising and branding of it like could really put it out like really quick. Because
Well, and the good thing is I can monetize that for you guys if you do some of if we do that, and any of the marketing and any of the things that we come up with in the in the interim before we sign the licensing deal.
Yeah.
When we do sign that licensing deal, hey, we won't take it as as us and be like, hey, we've got, or we'll factor it in there, and then cool, we've got this marketing material if you'd like to keep using this, and we've already tried and tested it
Yeah.
here, blah blah blah, but the individuals need to to get $15,000 for,
Right.
and they'll work and stay on for a continued either online presence, changing graphics anytime.
Yeah.
Hey, we need posters and whatever, and you put it in the proper, you send it there and they knock it off. So it's going to go national probably next spring.
Wow.
So
Yeah, dude, it's a cool product. Like, that's something like when you mix, because 5 Hour Energy is cool, and then you get like all the people that are going around taking Adderalls to study or even just go to the club. You can use a nootropic for that, and you get smarter. Like, you feel better, and you don't get that weird crash or that weird jittery feeling.
dude, it lasts
perfect.
forever, dude.
I know, dude. Well, the thing of it is, it's like it fades back into your normal self perfectly. You don't get that like ha 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 ha. It's just like whoo, and then you kind of just.
And then somebody could call and be like, "Hey, man, dude, I gotta drive down to Brownstown and pick up a couch. Can you do it?" Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I'll go with you.
Yeah.
Like, it just stops your procrastinatory thinking, like, where I would immediately go, dude, I don't even have socks on, bro. Yeah. Like, that's a whole thing. I got to put, my feet are naked. We ain't that cool.
Yeah,
like,
I haven't really talked to the feet today. They're not really feeling it. I don't want to bother them.
Yeah, that's one of the things I noticed about it is it just
conversations with your feet got really quick.
They got really, really in depth. Yeah. So, yeah, but I just, at other times where I would deny doing things because, like, you begin to think about stuff, and because your brain is working at a higher level, you can't even trick your brain and be like, no, we don't want to do this. That seems like a lot of work.
The first night I took it, and I was like going out to the bar, I was like, I wasn't even drunk yet, and everyone's like, hey, you want to get up and dance? And I'm like, no one else is dancing, and for some reason my brain was like, yes, let's dance, let's just have fun.
Yeah,
I went up and did it.
Actually, Brett, I will be sending. Actually, the Inland folks already had samples. I don't know if you find yourself over, over in that, the 635, 35, corridor over by the old office, but they will have them. So I think we're sending 100 or 200 cases down there to them. So obviously, go in and talk to 3. If not, I'll swing them by you, or little sister will be down there before long. So I'll make sure I throw some in her suitcase. So yeah, but it'll be in Dallas Fort Worth. And if there is anybody who's not local, shoot us a message on here, or send me a private message, and we'll mail out a sample,
or send us a message of your privates.
That's right, private parts are acceptable in messages.
Yeah.
There was something random. Yeah, I know.
The Bachelor Pad Radio. Come on, we're not running like a daycare here.
You talked about doing things in the bad place and your weird fascination with bad place stuff or whatever. You're the Bachelor Pad chick.
Yeah, come
You're
on.
just as bad as the rest of us.
Because I said send us private parts. You think that's the weirdest perverted thing we've said on the show?
Which
it's like the little ice cream cone of things we've said.
Which is actually a good talking point, right? Dude, why is it you saw Mariah Carey is being accused, men and women, everyone is coming out like every weird bad thing
every single day. It's like someone new, man. It's crazy. Yeah. I don't why do you think it's because like a trending topic, or people, or there's now the platform to do it, so now people are like, okay.
Well, there's the platform, and then number 2, think about the the women's movements over the last year or so. Like right now, everyone is, and what I love is like dudes are saying it. Like Terry Crews, the big muscled up, the dude who played Chris Rock's dad, and everybody loves Chris. Everybody hates Chris.
No, we love Chris here.
We love Chris. Bachelor Pad. It's all about the love. So even he was, sexually, and I think it was kind of a, even going back like 10, 15, 20 years, casting couch was a thing. Like if you wanted to make it in Hollywood, you were going to have to,
naked.
Ass, grass, or cash, everybody, nobody rides for free.
No one gets casted for free.
Exactly, right? So, I mean, okay, and I have a weird take on it. Like, dude, every person I know has sex with randoms. And I've seen some of the chicks that have had sex with, just random dudes. And they hate it. Like, they look a year back and go, that was a mistake. Can't believe I let him climb on top of me. Heaven forbid it benefits you in some way, right? You're going to the bar in LA and you're hooking up and you're doing random stuff. Like, let's not pretend that people aren't being promiscuous in their personal lives.
Yeah.
And doing any number of things. So heaven forbid that something benefited from you. Yeah. I have a weird take on it. I mean, I advise females, like, don't mess with broke dudes. It's a lot of work, but one day he'll pan out. No, he won't. No, he won't. There's a fairly good chance. And generally all that struggle, he's gonna get to doing well. And he's going to go and now he's going to be at a different level, and he's going to grab somebody else. It's just like the felon model guy. Dude, he's got like multiple kids with this chick, and she's actually hot for a normal chick person.
Yeah.
And they go through the whole thing. He gets out of prison, and people are like, oh, the mugshot, and he gets a modeling contract, does whatever. He starts doing some stuff, and he hooks up with an heiress who's like worth like, billions, like, $5 billion. and he leaves his wife and kid. Like, dude, seriously, the struggle is not a good thing.
No.
Avoid the struggle.
That just means that he settled for you just as he settled for every other shitty thing in his life. I mean, of course, there's like good guys that end up in bad situations, and then you're on the come up with that guy. And if you can build around it and be that guy's partner, that's awesome. But if he's just doing stupid stuff and he's dumb and he's putting himself, he's just selling drugs all the time, not doing anything else, then yeah, you're part of the rock bottom for him.
Yeah. Oh,
And
guaranteed.
as soon as he gets a better scenario in his life, you're staying right down there with all the drugs.
Yeah, and and even like you've got to be, and I guess the number one bachelor pad rule is communication, right? Communicate properly. Hey, blah blah blah. Number two, the second one is be realistic in whatever it is you're doing. If I'm dating a young chick and she's crazy and drinking too much and doing whatever, even if I'm doing it from a good place, like, okay, cool, here, get your life together. I'll give you some good advice. Obviously, I like the nice taut young body, right? And I like the fact that you're not completely hating life yet, like most 35-year-olds who are like, I was with two guys, I thought they were the ones, now I've got a kid and I'm at a job that I thought I was going to be a CEO, and now I'm actually just, working in this level. And there's a certain amount of, if you're not introspective enough, you haven't studied enough, and you haven't seen like a therapist, you're going to be gripey and grouchy.
Of course.
And rightly so.
Yeah.
I don't say you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean anyone's going to want to be in a relationship with you,
No.
right? Because ain't nobody got time for that.
No one's got time for you.
So in that same token, if I'm dating a chick and she's 20 or 21 and she's really hot, but she's had a really bad string of bad luck, if I can help her out and give her positive, hey, do this and do that, even if I help her out and go, here, why aren't you back in school? Finish your degree. You're only a year away. Cool. I'll help you out, and don't worry about working. Just crash here and do whatever, right? I'll make sure, take care of my dogs and, be cool, whatever it may be. You do that. I'm not under the impression we're going to be together forever.
Right.
I'm going to help you out. It's kind of like the bird with a broken wing.
Yeah.
You get it, you nurse it back to health, and then you take the tape and the popsicle stick off the wing of the goddamn bird, and it flies away.
Jake's House of Wayward Lost Souls.
Oh, dude.
What was your title for it?
Jake's Home for Wayward Women.
Yeah.
Or wayward strippers.
Wayward
strippers. Because, dude, there's a lot of them. I mean, you've only got like a very small percentage that are working their way through college and actually, become a podiatrist years later or whatever.
I got a good talking point for you.
Bring it, bro.
So one of my female friends recently told me, because I have another, female friend stripper.
You seem to have like 900 female friends, so
that was
yes.
in here on the mic,
Okay.
So she told me, she was like, hey, do you think I should become a stripper? And she's got a pretty decent, job and life set up, but she just wants to do it for the money. She's got a really good relationship with her father.
Okay.
and she's going through like a rough time and everything, but what would your advice be for a girl that just wants to get into stripping for money? Should you do it? Should you not do it?
That is the number one, the number one reason.
Yeah.
You can go work anywhere for, I can go, make $300 a week working,
but you saw that industry. You saw like the people working in it. Do you think it's for everyone, or do you think it's for a very specific mindset?
I've seen plenty of different variations of people that have come through.
Yeah.
And if you're not mentally strong, I almost feel like there should be, a life coach for anyone who's going into that area,
Yeah.
right? Because there's pitfalls and things that you should avoid, right? Like, obviously, if you really like the drugs and you really like this and that, it's very hard with that amount of money and that amount of influential people.
Yeah.
Drinking. Don't drink while you work. If you go, and here's a way that you can identify if they're telling you the truth or not. If they do decide to do it, if they go there, and most people have an idea of girls that are dancing are being objectified,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But if you ask me, there's a flip side to that coin, right? There's a yin and yang for a guy who goes in there and can't in his real world get a pretty girl like that to talk to him, so he just keeps putting money,
Yeah.
quarters in the token,
Yep.
or tokens in the machine,
Yep.
so she will sit and talk to him, right? So she's bleeding, the pocket dry.
Yeah.
And yes, she's taking off her clothes and doing whatever. And there's
I think
always
it's a mutual. I think there's a mutual advantage being taken of both parties in that situation.
I guarantee.
The guy is going there to get his perverted little fix, and she's going there to take her perverted little money.
But see, I don't even think I don't even think it has to be a perverted little
Well,
fix.
no, it's not right.
But see, it's easy. It's easy for the words to just come out like that.
Well,
I happen to like it. It's like a tree fort for grown men. You go there. And if you appreciate the female form, I like the female form, right?
Yeah.
I do. Is it perverted and pornographic to go and look at the Victorian pictures of naked people with grapes and all the naked portraits or whatever? It's considered artistic
It's
now.
a very sexual nature. For a lot of the why you would spend the money. I mean, why you would spend money on your online chatterbait stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
It's for a specific reason.
Generally, yeah. Generally, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's the gentleman, the beer and the boob gentleman that just go to have a good time, and there's boobs walking around. That's a different thing. But the guy that goes there for the attention, that's a very specific.
And then
motive.
all bets are off when alcohol's involved. If you drink too
Yeah.
much, you may spend more money and you may do whatever. And and see, that's why not one size fits all for any. I could show you, like, when I used to manage the club downtown, dude, I'd have businessmen that, hey, dude, I'm only, I'm in town for, for the month working at, X, Y, and Z business, right?
Yeah.
They would come through and they could go and sit in their hotel room, or they got done with work. They don't know anyone in the city. Cool. Where would I go to TGIF Fridays and sit at the bar and talk to the snarky
Right.
bartender, or, go to the hole in the wall bar, or I happen to like the ladies. It would not harm me at all to look
Right.
at a boob. And heaven forbid, yes, there is always a sidebar that you run into a cool chick and you talk to her a little
Yeah.
bit and you build a little relationship. And it's a relationship with a stopwatch on it.
It's also
You're leaving in a week or two.
Yeah, it's also a pretty chill atmosphere a lot of the time too. It's the club without like all the fiasco going on.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it. I like
'Cause you
going
gotta
there just
admit-
to have like a few drinks, just because there's casual good conversation happening. That if I were to go to like some sort of nightclub where everyone's running around and I'm just trying to unwind socially, that's the difference. I think that place is more of an unwind, where like the actual dance clubs where everyone's doing ecstasy and everything, that's just too much for me.
Or you go to the Royal Oaks and you go to the Ferndales and you go to these places and everyone's there with their way too much cologne and this and this, and they're in
Yeah.
groups of whatever, and
Yeah.
dude, you're there. I mean, when you went the night you went with us, you got to admit, dude, we walked in, we did whatever, we sat down, we grabbed some drinks, talked to the waitress, shook hands with a couple people, kind of giggled, right? You
Yeah.
got to admit, it brings out some joyous, like, oh, this, oh, look at that, oh, this is
'cause,
neat.
Yeah, you get like a constant topic, right?
Yeah.
It's just a infinite talking point the whole night.
So to me, I could go to a normal bar and go there with you, and you and I would sit there and look around and have a drink, and we would have small talk with way too loud of music going on.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh man, she's kind of cute. Should we talk to her? I think the dude with the face tattoo is her boyfriend. No, probably not.
He's
You know.
probably doing drug deals in Canton right now.
Yeah, so I when you look at it and what are you going to do for the good time? But I would say with a young lady, yes, it is a good way to turn a buck. I could give her a consulting fee of what to do, what not to, or not fee, but give her a consulting, chat, because I have managed bars, I have managed clubs, I do know the state of what's going on here. I can give her a realistic idea of what the money she will make there,
Yeah.
being a good girl and not drinking too much, not doing whatever,
Yeah.
and where that would be, and then wherever at that point we have free will.
Yeah.
Oy, this guy, whatever. And, then, You learn a lot about yourself for it. Most people come out of it a little bit broken, but they go into it, and it's not like the club is doing it. They go there and they drink because they're nervous, right? Like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. I need a couple drinks. Yeah. Then it becomes habit forming. They come in, they can't get on stage until they have a couple drinks.
Right.
So now they're drinking, and then this guy offers them to buy a drink, and then they have some more drinks. Now they're getting drunk every night they go to work. Then they can develop an alcohol habit. One of the girls like, hey, have you tried this? Oh, you're really tired? You work today? Here, try this. And then there's other things that, that go in, that go into it. So, but I have met the 1% that are doing good things, that are
focused,
going to college, that are, like in a master's program, or doing other things that are working along.
Dude, it's a hell of a way to pay your way through something.
Yeah. And they don't drink and they don't do whatever. And yeah.
I mean, those habits too can get expensive. Like, just not even just the alcohol, but if you start taking drugs to wake yourself up to have the energy to go do it because you've been drinking all the time, now you're spending X amount of hundreds of dollars on drugs every week, and
right,
that's that's just a downward spiral.
See,
then you burn yourself out.
And I don't like for either the industry or the type of work to ever be villainized. I don't know why I always feel like I have to be on some kind of a proponent or a devil's advocate, but a lot of people are like, oh, you can't do that, it's bad, it's whatever. No, if you're a good person and you've got and you're strong enough to deal with it, you can go there and make a lot of money. You can go to the bar and you can go and meet chicks and get numbers and do stuff, but you can also go there and get really wasted and drive home and not take an Uber and get a DUI, right? So there's a lot of things that, going to a bar, you and I going to a bar, we both drive up there and meet, isn't the bar's fault if we get way, way too drunk and then drive home and get a DUI, right? There's personal accountability in everything you do, so.
Yeah, I didn't really know the answer to the question. I know there's, unrealistic and realistic expectations with being a dancer. I know it's not like you're not making a band every night you go out. There's slow nights.
But it's more reliable. A good girl who's who's following the rules and being diligent and doing whatever.
Yeah,
you're looking at a couple $100 a night, and then that couple hundred would get to maybe a 400 or 500 on those spike nights.
Yeah,
anyone who says they're making 1,000 and doing whatever, they're bending some rules.
Well, no,
I've been everywhere. I know there's no. I will take that chapter and verse. I've been all over the country. I did national sales. I traveled everywhere. I'm a communicator. I've had candid conversations with just about everybody. Yeah. And I've worked and managed in these in these establishments. Huh?
How did you even find out?
Find out what?
For them to make $1,000 that they were doing it.
Because it's baseline economics. It's business at the end of the day.
They have to. I mean, they're paying the actual club themselves to work there too. So
which generally comes out about 100, 100 and change, depending on what time they showed up, whatever. And then you're there. And if you're aware enough, right, and I'm super observant, if you're there, there's a certain amount of people dancing, right? Mm-hmm. You get a couple dollars tipped here or there. You've got dances. You can only do, throughout the course of the night, right, for the amount of time you're there, dances, depending on club, range anywhere from $20 to $25, some 30 depending on.
Right.
And then if you're going there and you're doing whatever, the amount of time you're there and the actual statistical value of how often somebody's actually going to take you for a dance and go do anything, you're, 25, 50, 75. Okay, so there's 75 or $100. And you do that 3 or 4 times a night. You pay out the house, you do whatever. There's nights where it's slow, where, girls claim, nobody's taking me for a dance. Nobody, I didn't even get a dance tonight and whatever, right? And then I'm like, oh, well, okay. Well, if this is your art and this is your craft, if you'd like the true answer to it, maybe you should go to the gym before you come in, right? Because, if you look at the girls that are getting dances and you don't look as good as them, and it's not, you may have a pretty face and you may have whatever, but if your body isn't as tight or this isn't whatever, it's like being an athlete.
Yeah,
like, I'm going to go out and, hey, how come I'm not starting? Are you in the gym training? Are you as strong as him? Are you as fast as him?
And that's not even an objectified view. That's just
not at all. That's realistic.
That's the actual product is your body.
Your body.
Yeah.
So, it is. Oh, that's
It's not
mean
like,
to say.
It's not like in a corporate world where you have the exact same skill set as someone and you're just a better looking person. That is your skill set.
That is your skill set.
Yeah.
You were there. Somebody looks over and goes, "Oh my God, dude, look at the body, man. I would love to, spend some time with that or get an up close view."
Yeah.
And if you're looking at it and going, I mean, man, if all the other ones are taken, maybe I'll do that. That would vary on, and there's multiple reasons how and why, and some guys like black girls, some guys like white girls, some guys like blondes and brunettes. Like you really get in that, it's not you not looking good, but you may not be the type of the individuals that are in the bar that night. But it's also not the first hour or the first half a day. It's a whole night from 7 o'clock until 2 in the morning. There's sometimes that you might get a group of 4 dudes that come in that go, "Oh my God, dude, she's amazing." Each one of them gives you a dance for $75, and next thing you know, you made $300 in the last hour that you were there. So it's also a marathon and not a sprint.
Right.
You see a lot of it. I mean, dude, I had to, I never knew I was going to be in that. I just needed to pay the bills. And granted, I had bounced at a couple clubs, when I was younger. Actually, Matt's the one who tricked me into bouncing at a club when I just came back from Texas, and I was got back, and "Hey man, come here, dude, you been lifting?" I was like, "Dude, of course. What else do I do?" "Okay, cool," and got me into it. And I don't know, it's kind of weird. So I don't know exactly what my, the individual. I could give her a, if you're like, "Hey Jake, meet me for lunch and whatever, and talk to this person or whatever," I could break it down, and then whatever decision she makes from that.
Yeah. I don't really know. I think it's just like, it's not that they want to do it that bad. It's just the money entices them. And
Yeah.
I think there's unrealistic expectations.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, in this day and age, and whatever, you've got to, number one, be on point physically. Number two, that $1,000 a night is not realistic.
I mean, that's a lot of times, you'll get that guy, that VIP guy that really comes in with a lot of money and just hooks a girl up.
Yeah, on occasion, not as much as you would believe, but and it's not the first time they see them. They may have seen him a time or two, right?
Yeah,
Guys
might have
are
been in Kristen Stewart eye contact 3 times before.
And then, you know what? Yeah, man, dude, I can't take it. I'm gonna
Yeah, I gotta
let's
go
go
to-
talk, and then you end up spending a bunch of money.
Yeah.
But there's a thing in the industry called regulars too, right? That if you go there on a regular basis and you go there and, hey, that's my chick, right? You've built a friendship,
Right.
yeah, and you kind of know a little bit every time you're there. You talk. If you are gonna, if you're gonna spend your money, in that realm. And whatever, and that's how relationships kind of blossom. Yeah. So, and these girls will call and text like, "Hey, I'm working tonight. Come up. Hey, I'm working tonight."
Yeah,
a lot like
guaranteed. That's guaranteed money.
Same thing with the bar, the bartenders and the wait staff, because they know, oh, dude, I'm gonna call. Oh man, I've got bills due, or whatever. I'm gonna call my good tippers. Come up and hang out, whatever. They're gonna tip better than the average Joe Schmo.
Or on the contrary, the people that won't go up to those bars unless their bartender's there, because they know they're gonna get the hooked up service and whatnot.
For sure.
Yeah,
dude, you know how many times I've been called like, balls, I'm sitting at home and I get, "Hey, what are you doing?" Leave me alone. I'm just like, "Dude, what are you doing?" Blah blah blah. Take a couple pictures, FaceTime. "What are you doing?" Don't be, dude, you're sitting at home. Get up here, whatever. Come on, let's hang out.
Yeah.
Now, some of them, okay, you do that, and there's a possibility, let's go back to your house and have some drinks, and shenanigans could ensue, or any number of things. So
sometimes they just want to fill up their work with more.
And I don't fault them for it. Shit, make your money. If I'm sitting at home and I'm teetering on the fence and your call pushes me, cool, I'm gonna come up. I'll sit at your section, and yes, I'll tip you a little more than the 20%. So it happens. That's what we do.
Perverts. I'll see you guys later.
All right, bye, weirdo. Have a nice night. Don't leave your keys somewhere.
Yeah, make sure you check your keys in the door when you go to get in the car. Get in.
There you go. You did it. You just.
I know you guys suck each other's dick after the show.
You see her brew that for I could watch the process in her head. How can I make these guys sound super gay on their podcast?
Oh, the hamster wheel spinning.
Yeah, no, she's asking if I want to fight.
Get out of here. Go
Bye.
to 7-Eleven.
Bye.
Get the hell out of here.
Just waiting for that door to close, and I know we're safe.
But these are.
Two.
Does it clunk or Nope, she barely said it there. What a
Oh, it
Oh,
just went. It
okay.
just went. I was about to go get up and because there's always it never
Yeah,
fails.
we don't-
At
we don't
least
need to
once a
get-
week someone walks in here.
Well, and it is kind of weird, that conversation we had about about strip clubs and and gentlemen's clubs, and it's real easy. You have to be realistic about it. But in this day and age, with the weird, if anything, in this world we live in now, with the Harvey Weinsteins and all of Hollywood getting called out, that anytime, like, I almost want to have like a disclosure like form that before I talk to a chick and go, hey, dude, I think you're cute, or you have really pretty hair. Hey, I'm going to give you this. Dude, we ought to come up with that. We ought to put it on the bachelor pads where they can print it out and just have this little terms of service. Like, I'm talking to you not just because I'm concerned about your take on the weather today, but I find you attractive, and if this conversation went well, I would not be opposed, and I hope you would not be either. Not saying we either confirm nor deny that we will have any kind of relations, or anything I say tonight will be off cuff, because I'm letting you know that I find you attractive. And by saying that, any number of just fine printed out, like any of the things like heavy petting, cuddling, brushing your hair away, and it won't be considered sexual assault or, sexual inappropriateness.
Wow. And then you don't become Kevin Spacey 20 years later.
That's right.
Let's get it out of the way.
Because in this day and age, if you talk to somebody and you accidentally, like, if you hit on them in the, like, you feel a vibe and whatever, and hey, blah, blah, blah. Oh, my God, I can't believe that creep hit on me or whatever. Dude, part of the reason why I don't really hit on people, I just kind of stand back. I don't want to be looked at as, I'm being overtly that way, because I know how I am. And yes, if I'm talking to you, of course, I've identified that you're pretty. I've identified that I would like to, possibly heavy pet or cuddle, right? It's cool. Not saying any of that's going to happen, but, and I guess, yeah. But see, I'm not a really touchy dude. You heard me freak out the other day when No Show Matt grabbed my mod and went to hit it and did whatever. I'm like, why is everyone touching my stuff? I don't touch any of you. Dude, when's the last time I've reached out and touched somebody, whether appropriately or inappropriately?
I don't know, man. There's a little bit of you got to do it. There was this whole thing I was watching on it where if you are the touchy guy, because a lot of people, that's how you invoke confidence, right? Like very confident people, like Tom Cruise, Robert Downey Jr. What's that dude who played Thor? What's his name?
Helmsworth, dude.
Yeah, Helmsworth. He's very like, yeah. He really engages people and makes them feel comfortable and confident. But when you do that stuff, when you can't single people out. You have to include like everyone, right? So if you are gonna be the dude that wants to, make people comfortable, grab them, touch everyone and everything.
That's weird. Everyone's gonna think you're on ecstasy.
No, I mean, not like you're not
why are
feeling them
touching
around.
me?
It has to be in the conversation, and like if you're telling a joke at someone's expense and you pat him on the back and go, you know what I mean? There's a psychology behind it, man. There's a
Well,
strategy.
we've talked about the body, body language, and
yeah.
I
know there's some people that get really weirded out by any sort of contact, and they get because when you do that, like when you make yourself comfortable, and I'm throwing my stuff around on your stuff, that's me saying, okay, I'm confident and comfortable enough to where I feel like I can.
You can do that without me stealing the phone.
Well, like when you look at like a when you watch like Conan or like a talk, like late night stuff, and you see people that are very reserved, they're not comfortable. But if you see someone that's like and they're kicking back and they're making themselves comfortable and they're moving around, that like shows a little bit of confidence in yourself, that you feel comfortable. You're not you're not bitching down to the person that's hosting this. There's like a good psychology behind it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'm not a big touchy. You know what used to creep me out? Like when I was lifting and I was in,
What's that?
Like picking stuff up and putting it down and grunting a lot.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But
lifting, okay, I didn't.
When I was lifting and training, and I was bigger than the average bear, right? It looked like I could have got called up by the lions at any given moment.
Use the term bear.
Yeah, I know, right? Especially with all the conversations.
The power top.
But I'd go out and it was weird. Other dudes would, hey, what's going on, man? And they would pat you on the arm, right, to see like how hard is that arm and whatever. And it was weird because I was studying all the body language stuff.
Yeah.
And dude, I really dislike the hey, what's going on? Where they, they'll pat you on one side and like grab your arm, or they'll, hey, what's going on? Or they'll pat your arm. It's like, dude, stop. Number one, stop touching me. Number two, I already know what this is. Even if you're doing it subconsciously, you've identified I'm a big dude. Hey, what's going on, man? Vroom, and what's happening? And they'll grab a hold of you and, real quick. And then, oh, wow, dude, that dude's arm is, hard as a rock.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. That's
it is
different.
weird.
That's like a more like, that's like a very specific to them, like a self-esteem. Like, I need to like figure out if this dude's huge or
Dude,
not.
it happened a lot.
That's weird.
And it really freaked me out.
Well, it's got to happen more to like bigger guys.
Well,
where
for sure.
Guys are like, oh, wow, that's a really
And
strong
it's
dude.
weird, and it was other dudes and dudes that you wouldn't expect, or what. And then having drinks, right? People get more touchy-feely when they're having drinks.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. I
That's
think,
another thing, too. Once you're more drunk, you're more comfortable. and
dude,
confident.
we need to make a permission slip and put it on the Bachelor Pad. Like, let's make a snarky non-sexual harassment. By engaging in this conversation with me, you are understanding that I, one, find you attractive. Number two, possibly not guaranteed, but could find you sexually attractive. And here, go ahead and read this, dude. How great of an opening would that be, though? In a bar?
I think that would either be the best thing or the worst thing. It's either gonna.
But dude, if they don't have a sense of humor, it's
that's
the
a
hey,
filter. Yeah. It's a
hey,
good
you want to get some
filter.
pizza? Hey, you want to get some pizza and fuck? What did you say to me? Oh, you don't like pizza? Cool, we can go back and do whatever. If they don't laugh and have a, oh my God, okay, you're not it. Hey, what's going on? So I'm not going to use the same thing,
filter,
but yeah.
If you don't have a sense of humor, I don't want to deal with you, because then I'm just going to say the wrong thing.
Dude, and you've got a friend of yours that could walk up to, like, at a regular bar, and there's a table full of chicks, and there's a couple of you. Ladies, how are we doing? Hey, I don't know if you've been handed, this is public, I'm working on behalf of the Public Decency Commission. I'm going to go ahead and hand one of these to all of you. Go ahead and give it a quick read. And which one laughs and does whatever, and be like, okay, you three found it funny, you didn't. You're not the fun one. Hey, what's going on? Can I get you a drink or whatever? You've agreed to the terms and conditions? Cool. Hey, my name's Nick. What's going on? Let me get you a drink. And then the rest, dude, that would have to be, this is a great thing.
Yeah, we can go beta test that.
Dude, for sure. It should be
Go
done.
to the US 12.
US 12, dude, chicks will punch you, guys will punch you. Dude, it's a rowdy place. I don't know. In Canton, nobody's gonna giggle at it. Everyone's, oh my God, who are you? Why are you here?
Ooh,
Yeah.
Who's this guy?
So I guess beta testing it in the proper, in the proper place.
Yeah, there's a time and place for everything.
But I think it would go, and the right group of chicks, because
Yeah.
we can tell which ones you even want to approach, not approach. So yeah,
knowing me, I'd probably be like, it's either I'm gonna be in the best mood, I'm gonna be in a bad mood, but I'm still gonna commit to them. All right, ladies, read this. Come on, go. Come on. All right, who's down? All right, you.
then
Come
just
on.
look at everyone in the eye.
Yeah,
Okay, you gave a smirk. The rest of you guys are dead fish. What's going on? Like,
you are all dead to me.
dude, please tell me you've seen I Hope They Serve Beer in Hell. This is something Tucker Max would do.
What? What's that?
Oh, you got to. Dude, it is one of the book. I read the book first, and it was given to me by my aunt through marriage, who really, really liked to drink. Like, alcohol was her thing. She gave me I Hope They Serve Beer in Hell, and it was
The book and a movie? Or
the movie. You're more, I don't know which one you'd enjoy more.
Probably movie, because
Yeah, if you
I like
get
film and stuff.
if you get a chance, I don't know. Have you put Kodi on your stuff, on your
Kodi?
Fire Stick? Yeah.
I don't have a Fire Stick. I use it on my computer once. I'm about to get one though, because I just got Wi-Fi hooked up and everything.
Well, if you can stay awake, or if you do watch anything tonight, watch
it's
the.
just your face, by the way.
Whoa. Okay. Dude, I'm telling you, this OBS changes. There's got to be something set up in the just in time for you to sneeze, big guy. That's what's
Did
up.
you put me on just as I was sneezing?
Yep. That's a good trick. But it's great. Tucker Max is my hero. Like, any guy going to the bar, you should take a couple Tucker Max isms.
What is he? He's a writer?
He's
Or
the
is
gentleman
he
who wrote. He
a
basically
guru?
started writing down the most horrible things he's ever done in life.
Oh wow.
And
Okay.
Yes, and they're horrible.
That sounds interesting.
Dude, it's a great movie. You know what you should do is, especially if you've got any of the roommates home or whatever, but then again, you'll miss a lot of it because people will talk through
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, dude, that's crazy, whatever, and you miss parts of it. So, yeah, it's a good adult college humor money
If I were to
movie.
go on Cody, where would I find it under? Like, is it
Just
under
movies. I hope they serve beer in hell.
Just like search it.
Yep.
Okay.
Just go to movies, Exodus, whatever, and then I hope they serve beer in hell. And
Yeah, I'm about
Yeah.
to buy one of those fire sticks and jailbreak it.
yeah, and all you do is you
I got
put
blow
the Cody.
my nose again, man.
All right. Well, you know what? On that, we're about at that time. Your nose is running all over the place, and
We can wrap it up.
Yeah, and
I'll hold my nose.
we'll wrap it up. And Doug, it looks like you popped in at the very tail end, buddy. You can watch after we get off. The first few minutes, there was a bit of a snafu. And
Technical error.
I would like to think it was an epic 4 minutes. You know, it was. It's not the first time I said that.
I think we're just kind of holding on to the nostalgia of those 4 minutes. I don't think it was the coolest conversation.
No.
Well, you can use your imagination. Try to read our lips.
Yeah. Let's see. Anyone who can come up with.
Oh my God! Anyone that can transcribe that into actual
Even if you
subtitles?
come close, we'll
Yeah.
send you something. I don't know. We'll get you an Applebee's gift card.
Yeah,
Something.
like a Hummer full of Adderall or something.
That's right. You add it all, a Crown of King, and some vape juice. Even if you don't use it, it can double as lubricant. It's vegetable glycerin. On that note, this is the Bachelor Pad. Jake and Nick signing off.
Later.